You may have noticed that as soon as you joined a Google Classroom or you created one, you suddenly had a ton more emails. You were getting emails for everything. You were getting an email every single time a student turned something in, or you were getting an email every single time someone commented on something. And in the meantime, you've been checking your Google Classrooms all the time, and you don't really need to get these notifications. You definitely don't need to have all of this in your inbox. So I'm going to show you how to change the notifications on your Google Classroom notifications list. So I'm just going to start. I'm in a classroom right now. I'm in the WCC USD EdTech Learning Google Classroom right now. I'm going to go all the way over to the hamburger on the left. So here's the hamburger, also known as main menu. I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to scroll all the way down to the very bottom of this list, all the way to the bottom. Here I go. And all the way at the bottom, the very bottom, is settings. I'm going to click on settings. And here are the notifications. Now this is talking about all of your classrooms, but they do have it broken up into groups. So first of all, you can turn this off completely and not even have to worry about it. That may be something that you want to do. But I suggest that if you're in something like our WCC USD EdTech Learning Google Classroom, you do want to get some kind of notification because that's how you find out if new things have been posted. So I'm just going to go through these notifications and just let you know that this is what's available to you. So, like I said, you can turn it off completely. The next section though is about comments, and this is talking about comments on your posts, comments that you're mentioned in, private comments on work, right? This is for anything that if you're a teacher or a co-teacher, this is going to make a difference here. So this means that I will get an email every single time someone comments on a post that I created in the Google Classroom, or I am mentioned in one of those posts. So I have that turned on. So we'll get into this a little bit more. The next section is classes you're enrolled in. So these are the classes that you are a student in. So for instance, the WCC USD EdTech Learning Google Classroom, you're a student in that, not a teacher, right? So this is where you're going to want to think about it. Do you want to know about work and other posts from teachers? Now, if you're in our WCC USD Google Classroom, you're going to want that because that means you're going to get emails every single time either Darcy or I put something into the Google Classroom, something new. Returned work, you don't really want to know about that because you're not turning in work. So I would say keep that off. I'd say turn this one on, keep this one off. You'll get an email anytime you get an invitation to join a class as a student. That probably won't happen. But just in case it does, you may want to have that turned on. I don't really think you need it because you're going to Google Classroom all the time and you will notice if you have an invitation. So I don't think that's important. And then due date reminders for your work, you're generally not turning anything in, right? So classes you teach. Now, this is really up to you. Do you want to know every time you get a late submission of student work or a resubmission of student work? And this is every single time. You can't turn it on for certain students and off for others. So remember, this is for all the students in all the classes that you teach. Invitations to co-teach classes, that actually would probably be a good one to get as an email. So you might want to turn that one on. And then scheduled, post-published, or failed. So that would mean that every time you've scheduled something to be posted later, you get an email whether or not it posted. So you'll get an email that says, yes, success, it posted, or you'll get an email that says, no, actually it failed. That actually is probably a good one to know. So I'd say turn that one on. Now, class notifications. So this may not look like this for you. It may look like this. If it does, if it's closed like this, you just click on the little caret to the right and it opens up the entire list. And now at this point, you're going to decide all of these choices up here will be made for any of the ones that are blue down here. So it just depends. I don't know how many Google Classrooms you have. You may have, as a secondary teacher, you may have several. As an elementary teacher, you may only have one. So really consider which classrooms you want to have these notifications for. So again, this is what I suggest. As a classroom teacher, you do want to have some email notifications, but not all, and really consider which of your classes you want them for.